Hey guys, so we are going to take you through some of the vehicles that we currently have in the fleet, so to speak. This is also the first time I'm using the Canon Rebel to film with, so this is also just kind of some test footage. I don't know how this is going to come out, I don't know how it's going to look, how it's going to sound, so bear with me, we're still in the testing phase. So, but he's 85 or he's an 86 4Runner. We have done quite a bit of work to this one. When it came in to me quite a while ago, I've been taking my time on this one. It sounded like a diesel. I mean, it was knocking all over the place. I started taking things apart. Head came off, front cover, which of course means the oil pan had to come off, which is kind of a pain in the ass on this one because it is a four-wheel drive, so the front end had to drop down. But pulled the oil pan and found metal in it. Took the front cover off. The oil pump had shredded itself. Maybe I'll, if I can get it in here, I'll throw a picture of it up on the screen here. But so the oil pump shredded it through metal all through the engine. All the cam journals were wiped out. So this one actually got a remanufactured replacement head. It got a brand new front cover with oil pump, water pump, cleaned out the oil pan, of course resealed that. We've got a new distributor cap, new wires, plugs of course, a fresh coat of paint because that makes it go faster. We deleted some vacuum stuff over here, so we've got some new lines. And I don't know if it's just me, but you can see how these are kind of dirty. If this damn camera will focus, let's see. Focus. Alright, well, it's not going to do it. But these vacuum lines were nice and pretty and red, but in the process of putting them on, I just got them all greasy and nasty. I've never been able to put, even these silicone radiator hoses that I put on, new radiator too, by the way, I've never been able to keep them clean when I put them on. Same thing with spark plug wires. Like, I can't get them on there looking clean and pretty. I'm too filthy, I guess. I don't know. But we got this all put back together, then found out it didn't have any injector pulse. I'm not too good with wiring, starting to get better, but chasing, shorts and that kind of stuff, I'm not too good at. So what we ended up doing with this is we took it to our friends at Southeast Overland up in Seneca, South Carolina. The owner, Steve, is a friend of mine through the Land Rover community. So we took it up there to them. They actually found that somewhere down in the main harness here, you can still see there, we haven't loomed them back up yet, but there was a short from a factory splice this car's old, so oil had gotten down in this harness. It wasn't making good contact anymore, so no signal was going to the injectors at all. So they fixed that. Then the injector pulse came back, of course. Then we found it didn't have any compression because this head was brand new. Well, new-ish. So when I had put the rocker arms back on there and tightened them to spec, they were too tight because the old head had a different type of clearance, so it was holding all the valves open all the time. They never closed completely. So that had to get reset. So now it runs, but there was a little bit of a coolant leak. These old cars are kind of like, it's like tipping over dominoes. One thing goes and then the next thing goes. So what we have just done today, if you can see the nice shiny metal down in there, that is a new heater, I think return pipe coming off the heater core. See the nice new metal right there. It runs into here, into the front cover, or into the water pump, I guess. So that is installed. I'm waiting on the sealant to kind of set up a little bit. I'm crossing my fingers that that is going to hold. Cool. It's not good news for the scrabble flashlight. Not good news for the 4Runner. We don't have any leaks coming from the pipe we just installed, however, and I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see this. Let's try zooming in here. No, you really can't. Dang. Anyways, one of the freeze plugs is rusted out and dripping coolant down the side of the block. So I think we are going to throw in the towel on this one. My buddy wanted the truck back for a little trip next weekend, so I've truthfully never done a freeze plug before, so I don't really feel comfortable to get this right for him. So I've advised him to just find a shop near him that can slap one in real quick, maybe this week. I'm gonna put the truck on the trailer and take it wherever he wants me to take it, and let them finish it off, and then this one should be finally complete. But that rust was just everywhere. We replaced a couple. We replaced the main radiator pipe on this side too, because it was rusted out. So this whole side was just completely, just had rust everywhere, and it just finally got through to cause a leak. So consider this one a wrap, although we're not going to be the ones wrapping it up, but we've gone as far as we are going to go with it. We're going to take you to another vehicle, so to speak, in the fleet. This is the Cronkite Bobcat trailer, for lack of a better term. Got a couple of 5,200 pound axles, 6-lug, big old tires. What separates this from a normal car hauler is going to be, if you look at just the height of those fenders. If you put a car on here, you're really not going to be able to open the door. I use this for hauling trucks like this, off-road vehicles, things like that, that are already lifted high enough that you don't have to worry. I mean, the doors will open right over those fenders. So this is a pretty handy trailer. It's never struggled under anything I put on it. When we eventually get some other vehicles, you know, maybe a tractor or something like that, this is going to be a great one for that. Not super long, 16 foot. You know, maybe one day we'll move on to, you know, maybe a gooseneck type setup, you know, maybe something able to haul a couple of vehicles one day, but for right now this is doing pretty good. So I'm going to take you through kind of what we're doing on the old Cronkite here. As you can see, focus, maybe focus. Alright, it's not going to focus. So anyways, what we have got here, these are the old incandescent lights that were kind of crummy. Some of them weren't working, and they weren't real bright when they were working anyways. So what we have been doing, you can see some of the new wires run here, is we have replaced them all with these LEDs. We just got them on Amazon. They're not super nice, but you did get a bunch for not a lot of money. The difference with LEDs is these have to be grounded individually, whereas the other lights, these old busted ones, you could just run in a series. So all of these have had to be grounded individually. Here's our new tail lights. You can kind of see here what we're doing is we are using solder. I'm not very good at soldering, but we've gotten better during this project. So kind of as these go around, see the black wire here is for just tail light, you know, normal running light. So I've kind of run a black wire all the way around these little guys back here. You can see those little 3-round running lights are on there too. So the main black wire comes around, and these little guys just jumper onto it as it goes, and then they are grounded. Here's the ground wire for these. I ran a ground wire and did kind of the same thing, jumping them on there. And then the red wire there is for left stop and turn. Got a green wire going over there to the other one for right stop and turn. We got this all wired up. You see the green here. Here's your black running light and the white ground. Got this one all wired up, and the right turn and stop wasn't working, which turned out, after a little bit of guesswork, to be an issue with the truck's wiring harness. So what we're doing here, we're doing this kind of the redneck way. We're jumpering into, this is the normal truck's right hand turn signal. We're just going to run a jumper wire. We are going to go directly from there, and we are just going to, you can see I've already cut it. This is just going to get taped up. This is the truck end, and there you can see the green wire coming down there. That's going to get connected to this, which runs into the trailer. So we're just going to go direct with that Reason we're doing the direct route is because on the F-250, I mean, it may be this way with all of them, but this year at least, the trailer has its own separate dedicated wiring harness. So there is a harness that starts at the beginning of the truck, comes all the way back here, and that is for just the trailer, lights, turn signals, brakes, all that stuff. It doesn't jump off at the back. So somewhere along this entire harness, or maybe somewhere up at the front, there's a brake or a short or something on that right turn signal. So instead of spending all the time chasing that, we're just going to do, like I said, the quick and easy way. We're just going to bypass it off the other harness that is just the normal truck tail and turn. So either way it works. You know, I'm not jumping onto it. I'm completely isolating. I'm cutting off the truck harness in case there is a short somewhere, that I'm not going to, like, you know, backflow power and short more stuff out. So truck right turn, the trailer right turn signal wire is cut and ended. That's no longer being used. It's just going to hang out there. So now we've got to button all this up and make it look pretty and hide it.